It's down the road we go. Happy Tuesday, 30th day of October 2018. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley has safely arrived on the airwaves and on the World Wide Web. That's right. You can watch us live streaming going to our website, ncwlife.com. Click on the Watch Now tab, and you'll be watching me now. It takes about a little minute delay there, and that's really about it. Dan Kuntz, your host. Senior news correspondent Steve Harrer is going to be working different hours this week because Grant Olson is on assignment. So Steve will be kind of shuffling around his hours a little bit. That's why you don't see Steve here, but we still got the news. That's very, very important. We'll touch on all the usual topics that we do on this award-winning program. We have sports. We have the obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays. Everybody's entitled to Mike McNaughty's opinion. And Thom Nees will be dropping by. Thom is the executive director of Serve Wenatchee Valley. They had a whiz-bang Make a Difference Day on Saturday. We'll catch up with Thom, find out how everything went, and kind of preview the upcoming holiday season, which for everybody is busy, and for Thom Nees and the crew at Serve Wenatchee Valley, it is especially busy. Our good friend Thom Nees will be in the second half of the program. Once again, a friendly reminder, you see these football helmets on this desk because all week long we're going to preview and get everybody up and ready to go for what's going to be an epic gridiron battle on Friday night between the Eastmont Wildcats and the Wenatchee Panthers. The Bridge of Sportsmanship Trophy is on the line, and a lot more than that if everything falls into place, and right now it looks like it will. We're going to be televising a special one-hour pregame show. We're calling it a tailgate party because we like to party around here. And then the game itself starts at 7. So all week long you'll see the Panther helmet and the Wildcat helmet on this very desk. Let's take you around North Central Washington with our Valley View cameras, courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi high-speed wireless. Sunrise is not for another 39 minutes. Again, as we mentioned this before, the cameras are set up to allow in as much light as they possibly can so you can get as much detail as you possibly can. So it's as you look at that live shot from Wenatchee Heights, it's not that bright out. It just looks brighter. Beautiful morning, but we're in for some rain this afternoon. Actually, later on this evening, between 8 o'clock tonight and about 5 o'clock Wednesday morning, we're going to have a lot of rain, and the upper elevations, and I mean above 4,000 feet, closer to 5,000 feet, going to get snow. Going to talk about those details when we get to weather. That camera, of course, is our cross camera. From this point forward, I don't know what we're going to see. We find out together because Kat gets to decide. I want to say that's monitor. Is that the monitor camera, Kat? Yeah, it is the monitor camera. So you can see that the Cascades there does have a little bit of snow with the very dusting at the top of those. You can see the folks heading into work here on this Tuesday morning. Great view from the monitor camera. That's up there quite a bit. And you can see beautiful Kashmir, Washington. A nice view there. Camera 3 is a slow dissolve to Lake Wenatchee, our Two Rivers camera. That's gorgeous up there. I just love that. That camera is on a tower. That's about 300 feet in the air, so it can get up high enough so the folks in the Lake Wenatchee area can get high-speed internet without having to have fiber run to their house. In fact, a lot of those cabins there have Sky-Fi. They don't have to worry about fiber. They can just point the dish up to that tower and boom, they're in business. The beautiful Lake Wenatchee area. If we turn that around, you can see the White River Valley because, again, we can move these cameras. Great view there. Finally, camera 4. We're going to take a look-see at our brand new camera that's been up and running for just a couple of weeks. That's just north of Chelan on the way up to Pateros. It's kind of dark, so it's kind of hard to make out things. That big wet thing that you see there is the Columbia River. That much we can tell you. You can see traffic as they make their way around the area. So that is that camera, again, is north of Chelan, south of Pateros. It's about the best I can tell you as the sun begins to rise on a Tuesday morning. So from the National Weather Service at 4 minutes after the hour, let's take a look at your forecast. And it'll look something like that. A couple of showers mainly over the mountains today. I got a graph to show you about precipitation. It's going to make you go, are you kidding me? Look at that. Snow Tuesday night, tonight, and a Wednesday morning. If you see the white and the blue, that means you're going to get snow. Now keep this in mind. Snow level is going to be way up there. We're talking 4,500 feet, close to 5,000 feet. So if you're traveling over the mountain passes, any of the big three, you'll be fine. You might, like Sherman Pass and Stampede Pass. They're not exactly heavily traveled, but they're also up there quite a bit, closer to 5,000 feet in elevation. They could get some snow. But Stevens, Blewett, and I-90, they're not expecting any snow at all. And whatever snow they're going to get, going to go away because Friday it's going to rain rather heavily in the mountains. So whatever snow is coming down, and then all those skiers at Mission Ridge are going to go, yeah, we're going to get snow. It's going to probably go away because it's going to switch over all the way up above 7,000 feet, 8,000 feet. It's going to switch from snow to rain on Friday into the weekend. We, of course, are going to be in the rain shadow, so we're not expecting a great deal of rain on Friday or Saturday. As you can see, very slight chance of some light rain over the weekend, but the mountains are going to get a lot of rain. They're going to be measuring it in inches. We're going to get a lot of rain tonight. They say up to 1/4 of an inch of rain possible. The rain between 8 o'clock tonight and 5 o'clock Wednesday morning, all right? That's the rain forecast. Today's high 54. Yesterday's high, by the way, was 58 degrees, which was above normal for this time of year. Rain Wednesday morning, lots of clouds. Wednesday night, slight chance of rain. Again, lots of clouds. Take a slight break on Thursday. Still going to be cloudy, but we should be dry Thursday. Friday night for the Bridge of Sportsmanship game, everybody will be dry, partly cloudy, and a low of 43, so you'll want to bundle up. And not a bad looking weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Mixture of clouds and sun, slight chance of rain. Once again, getting back to that original slide, all that snow, and everyone goes, oh no, it's going to snow, I'm not ready for snow. It's going to snow way up there, 5,000, 6,000 feet, and then whatever snow they're going to get is going to go away with some significant rain in the mountains over the weekend, and we will be dry. Outside of our studios, it is 41 degrees under fair skies on a beautiful Tuesday morning. Going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel. Join us Tuesday, November 6th for live coverage of Election 2018. NCW Life will be on the air live from 7:30 to 9 with results, analysis, interviews, and special guests. Eric Granstrom will be our studio host, and reporters Steve Hare and Dan Kuntz will be in the field providing up-to-the-minute results from all the races. In addition, we'll have expert analysis of the national and statewide races. The NCW Life channel, your local source for Election 2018.
Hello, Wenatchee Valley. Christian Shaman here with Bay Equity Home Loans.
Let us make your dream of home ownership a reality. We're here to guide you through the loan process every step of the way. Check out our convenient online application. Bay Equity Home Loans in Wenatchee, your home for loans.
Stop on by or give us a call today.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Once again, Dan Kuntz filling in for senior news correspondent Steve Hare, who's here and working. He's too busy gathering and disseminating the news, so I'll be handling your news duties this morning. From a law enforcement standpoint, Leavenworth's Oktoberfest, relatively peaceful, according to Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett. The annual event, which runs for 3 straight weekends in October, resulted in more arrests compared to last year, but no major problems. Burnett says the majority of arrests occurred within the city limits with fewer calls from outside the urban core, and he attributes that to a larger police presence downtown.
All in all, it seemed like the weekend was good, and I would attribute that to better staffing. You know, between the city of Leavenworth, Project Byron, we've geared up and staffed the venue itself a little stronger. And, of course, that takes help from other agencies. We can't do that alone. We just don't have the personnel. But Douglas County, Wenatchee PD, and occasionally some State Patrol. And then, good coverage downtown to cover the downtown corridor and residential areas to give the residents a little more beef up and help.
Burnett concedes that Oktoberfest does put a strain on the coffers of the Sheriff Department.
It does add a stress to our expenditure side of our budget, but again, that's reimbursable. So if our overtime budget ends up being a little steeper than we had anticipated or forecasted, we can go back in for an appropriation with the Board of Commissioners, but it's a wash because pretty much it's just allocation of our staff.
Burnett says he's still awaiting the final report from the Washington State Patrol for a combined tally of Oktoberfest DUI arrests. Well, the cost of medical insurance continues to climb. In our state, Insurance Commissioner Mike Kreidler has approved 11 health insurers to sell 74 plans in Washington's 2019 individual health insurance market. Health insurers requested a 19.44% average increase, but Kreidler's office determined that only 3.57% was justified. All 39 counties in the state will have at least one exchange insurer. Kreidler blames the Trump administration for, in his words, and I'm quoting now, sowing uncertainty in the insurance markets and that Congress has failed to address the underlying costs of health care, end quote. The enrollment period, by the way, for obtaining insurance through the exchange starts on Thursday. Well, the Chelan-Douglas Child Services Association got a big boost from the state yesterday. It's going to allow to serve 64 more children. An $800,000 grant from the Department of Commerce will be used to expand the early learning services facilities at 1305 Kittitas here in Wenatchee. Executive Director Christy Walt says the award is especially important as the lease is expiring on another of their buildings.
We are supported by our community. The City of Wenatchee allows us to lease the property that our main center sits on, and we're losing our Mustard Seed Center, which is on Malaga Avenue. So this will not only allow us to increase the number of children that we serve, but it will allow us to continue to serve the children at the Mustard Seed Center, and we're losing that center as of June 30th of 2019.
The group currently serves about 500 children, providing a wide range of pre-kindergarten services.
We are state and federally funded pre-K. Not only do we provide preschool services, but we provide comprehensive services. We make sure that our families have access to consistent medical care, consistent dental care, behavioral health services if there's a need. We support quite a few children with IEP and IFSP, so special needs children.
Walt says details on the $1.2 million expansion are being finalized. They hope to begin work soon on installing modular buildings and making playground improvements. Well, the Community Foundation of North Central Washington has awarded over $240,000 in grants to 30 nonprofits across the region. The grants were funded by the Regional Impact Grant and Partners in Giving programs, or RIG. RIG is an annual competitive grant program that supports charitable organizations in Chelan, Douglas, and Okanogan counties. 60 organizations applied for the grant, 30 received awards. Among those organizations receiving grants are the Alethea Writing Center and Hand in Hand Immigration, both receiving $14,000. You can see the full list of grant recipients on our website at ncwlife.com. Ballots for the November 6th election, which is 1 week away, are being returned at a brisk rate, according to Chelan County Auditor Skip Moore.
I think we're seeing them at a faster rate at this point. It'll be interesting by the end of the week to see where we stand, to see if we are faster or a quicker turnaround time than in previous elections.
As of yesterday morning, Skip Moore reports that about 25% of the 44,000 ballots that were mailed out have already been returned. Douglas County Auditor Thad Duvall says voter interest is high in his county as well.
Well, our return rate has been pretty high so far. It's been very good. We're at about 28% return right now, and if it continues this strongly throughout the election day, we probably will exceed 60%, maybe even 65%. The last election in 2014, we got 57%, so we're on a pace to do better than that this time.
If you choose to mail your ballot a couple of things. Number one, it has to be postmarked by 1 week from today, by Election Day, November 6th. And also, you don't need to put a stamp on it. Remember, postage is paid for, or you can simply drop off your ballot at any of the numerous drop box locations scattered all over Douglas and Chelan counties. And it's too late to register to vote. The deadline to do that was close of business yesterday. All right, the news with Eric Granstrom. Don't have to say that too often. Grant Olson's on assignment. Eric Granstrom is doing triple duty. He's got the news, he's got the weather, and he's got sports. He's going to be a busy guy today. Eric Granstrom with the news. It'll come your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. And then Eric has to go do a soccer game. We got soccer tonight, so the 6 o'clock news will not be airing here on the NCW Life channel. Instead, we have a playoff game between the West Valley Rams and the Wenatchee girls soccer team from Leibofta Field at the Apple Bowl. That'll be at 6 o'clock tonight, so they won't have a 6 o'clock news, but you can watch it on demand whenever you want to by going to our website at ncwlife.com. Click on the Watch Now, and then you can watch the evening news. You can watch all of our programs. We archive them all, sporting events, you name it. It's available for you to peruse at your own convenience at ncwlife.com, and also our evening news is available to watch on our Facebook page. And if you want to get a hold of us, you can go to our Facebook page if you want and private message us there. That's a great way to do it. You can also email us, news@ncwlife.com. News@ncwlife.com is a great way to do it because everybody here gets it. Or you can go to our website, our aforementioned website, and just click on the Contact Us button, and you can fill out a form or submit a news tip, whatever the case may be. However you prefer to get a hold of us, please get a hold of us. It's as much your station as it is ours. Quarter after the hour. Going to take a break. When we come back, we got sports, the obscure holiday, birthdays, today in history. Everybody's entitled to Mike Mignotti's opinion, and Thom Nees, the executive director of Serve Wenatchee Valley. It's a busy Tuesday. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 2 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
I came here to CVCH because one of my friends referred me. When I met Dr. Jocelyn, she was just amazing. She connected with my son, and it meant so much to me. He opens up so quickly because she just sits there and plays with him. It really is like going to see a friend. It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed, and you feel accepted and respected. It just feels like home.
This year's Bridge of Sportsmanship game between Wenatchee and Eastmont also carries a possible Big Nine championship on the line. Join us for the live tailgate pregame show Friday at 6 from the end zone at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. Kickoff is set for 7. You don't want to miss this one. It could be considered the biggest game between Eastmont and Wenatchee ever. And we have it live on the NCW Live channel Friday night.
Welcome back. Fair skies, 41 degrees as you see outside of our studios. A very pleasant morning. Clouds will be thickening up and we will have a lot of rain beginning about 8 o'clock tonight and going through until about 5 o'clock on Wednesday morning. So just beware of that. The last time the Wenatchee girls soccer team faced West Valley, that was down in Yakima, and the Rams came away with a hard-fought 2-1 win in overtime. It marked the second loss that week for Wenatchee because earlier in the week they lost to Moses Lake 3-0. Coach John Springer says it was a learning moment for his young team.
Tough week last week, and I was really proud of our bounce back effort against West Valley. The girls really showed up to play well. Just came out on the short end, but yeah, we've got to learn that Moses game. We just didn't come out with enough energy, so hopefully we can find that tonight.
The Wenatchee Panthers, West Valley Rams tonight, the District 6 4A semifinals. Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. The two teams met the last 3 years in a row in the playoffs. Only that was for the district championship. Kickoff, 6 o'clock. We'll have it live right here on the NCW Live channel. Eric Granstrom will be joined by Jostin Garalde and Mauricio Sanchez on the play-by-play. The other semifinal has Eastmont at Moses Lake in a rematch of last week's season finale. That's the Chiefs dominated that game 3-0. They'll also kick that one off at 6 o'clock at Lions Field in Moses Lake. Also tonight, it's loser-out games in the District 1A, District 6 1A soccer tournament in Leavenworth. Cascade will host Okanagan. That gets underway at 5 o'clock. Well, soccer is now in their postseason, but volleyball continues. In fact, the Big Nine volleyball regular season is now in their final week, and that begins tonight. Wenatchee ends their regular season on the road at Eisenhower. That's at 7 o'clock tonight. Eastmont plays their regular season finale Thursday at home against Moses Lake. The District 6 1A volleyball tournament continues at Cascade High School tonight. The Kodiaks face a loser-out game. They'll take on OMAC at 6 o'clock. The winner of that game will advance to the district championship. That'll be taking on Chelan. That'll be the glue crossover playoffs with the Northeast A-League, and that happens this weekend. Well, we're preparing for the Bridge of Sportsmanship game. It's going to be a big one. We're going to all this week take a look back at some of the great games that they've had. The last time the Panthers won the trophy was 2 years ago in 2016. Eastmont held a 14-10 lead midway through the fourth quarter. This was at Wildcat Stadium 2 years ago. The Panthers rallied. Eric Granstrom and Grant Olson were there with the call. Here it is.
Marcus Garcia comes into the ballgame, splits out wide to the right along with two other receivers here for Blakeney, who looks left. Now will get the pass from center on a 3rd and long. Now Scampers has trouble. Runs out of the pocket, looking downfield, has room to run it. No, he's going to throw it instead. The ball is caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Wenatchee. It's Patty Allen on the catch, and the Panthers retake the lead. Wenatchee's defense got to be breathing hard right now. Schwenkendorf gets the snap. 3-man rush. Steps up in the pocket. Has pressure. Gets away from one man. Has another man coming at him. And it is going to be flipped back to Knighton. Knighton now rolling to his right. Looking downfield. Looking to try to do something. Trying to give the ball away. And he does. And it will be covered there at the 25-yard line. And the Wenatchee fans go nuts, as do the football players on the sidelines across. And it looks like the Bridge of Sportsmanship trophy will be going back to Wenatchee.
And it did go back to Wenatchee with that 17-14 victory 2 years ago. The Tide returned the following season, though, and we'll bring you tomorrow. We'll take a look back at last year's Bridge of Sportsmanship game. We'll have it live this week. I can't wait. 6 o'clock will be the big tailgate party, 7 o'clock kickoff, the Bridge of Sportsmanship game live right here on the NCW Live channel. To achieve a perfect passer rating in the NFL, a quarterback has to attempt at least 10 passes, have 0 interceptions. You have to complete more than 77% of your passes and have at least 11% of those completions for a touchdown and average at least 12.5 yards per attempt. The number comes out to 158.3. Russell Wilson did that on Sunday. He joins the ranks of Joe Montana, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning to have a perfect passer rating in Seattle's 28-14 victory over Detroit on Sunday. Seahawks coach Pete Carroll said, yeah, it was a good game for Wilson, maybe his best game.
He's played a lot of good games. You can't be any more efficient than he was. 80% completion and 3 touchdowns and all of that. Third down was really good. We were cranking on third down until the fourth quarter. We missed a few in the fourth quarter, but we wound up at 50%, which is really our goal every week. Yeah, it was really complete, and then he helped in the running game, and he ran the football, and and helped us, made first down running, and set up another one, and so it was a really well-rounded game. It's great to say that, and he only threw the ball 17 times. He had that much effect on the game. He hit everything, so. It was one of the most complete games, I guess you could say.
In his third season, running back Chris Carson has emerged as a premier rusher in the NFL. Sunday, he had 25 carries for 105 yards, and he scored a touchdown. Coach Carroll says he has a way about how he runs the ball. That's what they're looking for when the Seahawks drafted him.
He can run in traffic. He looks good in the open field. He has a real aggressive nature to him in his style. And he'll attack guys, which is part of the run style that I always really like. Guys that will attack, the defense, attack individual players, but then also make a miss. Chris does all of that, and he's got a real good balance about him. His feet are apart when he's making his moves, and he's got real good lateral movement in when he's making his choices. And you'll see him just bring it together and go tear somebody up when he gets a chance to. So it's a real nice style that he has, one that really showed up. I thought it was pretty clear when we looked at him coming out, and he's never disappointed us in bringing that to life. You don't know if a guy gets in the league and he's going to still be a hard-knock football player, but he certainly has brought it.
Seahawks host the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm still having a hard time grasping that. The LA Chargers at CenturyLink Field, 1:05 kickoff Sunday on CBS. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Tuesday morning. At 23 minutes after the hour, let's do the obscure holiday. It's the day before Halloween. It's October 30th. That makes it Mischief Night tonight. That happened in my house one year. They TP'd the heck out of it. Kids. See kids today. Mischief Night. It's also known as Devil's Night, Cabbage Night, Devil's Eve, Goosey Night, and Gate Night. It's a holiday in the United States the day before Halloween. It's children, teens, young adults, they do stupid little pranks and harmless vandalism, or they're supposed to. Anyway, a lot of communities have begun to take back Mischief Night from the pranksters and the vandals by, making sure that people don't go out and, throw pumpkins on their porch and things like that. In Vermont and New Hampshire, the day before Halloween, the night before Halloween specifically, is known as Cabbage Night, because cabbages were thrown against people's houses on this night. Here's how the tradition happened. It comes from Scotland and Ireland. Young girls would pull cabbages. They would examine them, try to divine who their husbands would be. Of course, once the cabbages had told their young ladies all that they could tell them, they would take the cabbages and throw them against the sides of someone's door and then run away. Happy Mischief Night. And by the way, in case you're curious about TPing my house, I have security cameras. Don't bother. 24 minutes after the hour today in history. 80 years ago, Orson Welles scared the bejesus out of a bunch of people in the northeast part of the United States. Orson Welles' broadcast of the radio play War of the Worlds caused a lot of anxiety and panic in the northeastern part of this country. It was a Sunday night. Network radio was king Everybody would gather around their big console radio in their living room and they would listen to the latest radio drama. But when it started at the top of the hour on this Sunday night, they ran the disclaimer. What you're about ready to hear is a play. It's not true. Don't panic. But people were listening to other shows as well. Well, when those other shows went to a commercial break, they moved their dial over to the Mutual Radio Network and they heard people panicking and screaming because Martians had landed in New Jersey when they really hadn't. Yeah, some people in the United States really overreacted and it happened 80 years ago today. October 30th, 1945, 73 years ago today, Jack Roosevelt Robinson signed a contract. He was with the Kansas City Monarchs and he signed a contract with the Brooklyn Dodgers, breaking baseball's color line. He would play for the Montreal Royals in 1946 and then move up to the big leagues in 1947, but he signed his contract on this date. In 1945, Branch Rickey said, "We're integrating baseball whether you like it or not," and that process began 73 years ago today. October 30th, 1974, I remember the rumble in the jungle. I was only 10, but I remember it very, very well. In Zaire, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, the big boxing match took place, of course. Ali did the rope-a-dope. He just allowed George Foreman just to pound on him over and over and over and over again until George Foreman simply ran out of gas, and all Muhammad Ali had to do was basically just push him over. And down he went. It took place at 4 in the morning local time, 4 a.m. in Zaire, so it could be televised in prime time. Back in the United States, Muhammad Ali reclaimed his crown from George Foreman 44 years ago today. And it took long enough, but finally, October 30th, 1988, today is the 30th anniversary of the Jets finally beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. The final was 24-20. They had never beaten the Steelers before. Think about that. They had never beaten the Steelers before. By the way, the Jets would then subsequently lose 5 more games in a row to the Steelers, their all-time record between the Steelers and the Jets. The Steelers have won 20 games. The Jets have won 5. It took them a long time, but they finally did beat the Steelers on this date 30 years ago today. And finally, we got a couple of birthdays for you. If you wanted to rank the presidents alphabetically, John Adams would be number 1, you know. John Adams, the 2nd president of the United States, the first vice president of the United States, was born on October 30th, 1735, and like almost all of the founding fathers, lived a very, very long and fruitful life. He lived to the age of 90. That's remarkable. And of course, he died on July the 4th, 1826, on the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and he died on the same day as his good friend Thomas Jefferson. John Adams, who was also the very first president to live in the White House. He was born in the state in 1735. And the Fonzie is 73. When I came across this on my research yesterday, you got to be kidding me. Henry Winkler, the American actor, comedian, producer, director, he's 73 years old today. Of course, Happy Days was a huge show growing up. Everybody watched Happy Days. It has not aged well. Thom Nees has aged well. He'll be coming in here in just a couple of minutes. He's executive director of Serve Wenatchee Valley. We'll talk to Tom. But first things first, everybody is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. Is just a couple of minutes away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live this morning from Studio 3 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
Your home as comfortable as you like? This Lennox dealer can help.
Make your home comfortable with a Lennox system from Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. Call Patriot today.
Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling will give your home a hug.
Get up to $1,600 in rebates or special financing.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by LocalTel. This Saturday is Health Alliance Northwest Medicare information in the LocalTel Event Center at Pybus Public Market from 10 to 2. Come learn about plans and ask questions. Also Saturday is the Pray for Snow concert in the parking lot behind Arlborg Sports from 6 to 10 p.m. Come celebrate the start of winter and the upcoming ski season. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks, so bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
The NCW Life Channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and Other Stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life Channel is your local TV station.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, alcohol doesn't cause abusive or aggressive behavior, but it lowers inhibitions. So what is already inside the consumer can come out. In vino veritas, as they say, wherever Latin is spoken. Now, President Trump, he's like alcohol. Now, he doesn't cause racism and bigotry, but he's providing an atmosphere where it can be expressed from where it already exists. Now, despite what knee-jerk responses might cause in some of my liberal friends, thinking this is some sort of supportive post or justification for the man, no, I'm sorry, it's not. But despite his personal peccadillos, Trump isn't causing hatred in anyone. Blaming him, therefore, is only partially correct. Oh, by the way, alcohol is also a central nervous system depressant, if you get my drift. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by LocalTel. The Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center is celebrating Dia de los Muertos this Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. There will be music, dancing, crafts, and food at this free event. Music Theater of Wenatchee presents Little Shop of Horrors, which is being performed this Thursday through Saturday at the Riverside Playhouse. Get your tickets at Numerica Pack or at the door. For more information, visit ncwlife.com.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to come down and check out what we're all about at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Great beer, good food, and an endless source of entertainment for the whole family. Our Honey Blonde beer is flying off the shelves at your local grocery store. But I tell you what, it's even better on tap. And while you're here, try our signature Badger sauce with one of our delicious meals. Whether you're in the mood for a wrap, salad, pizza, or nachos, Badger Mountain Brewing has what you're looking for.
Find it all at Wenatchee Valley Mall. There's something for all ages at Wenatchee Valley Mall. No matter what the weather, the kids will have fun in one of the many play areas around the mall. Sign your kids up for fun adventures and super specials when they join the Kids Club. It's a great time for kids and an even better time out for parents. Check out specials and events 24/7 at WenatcheeValleyMall.com. It's your Wenatchee Valley Mall. Come shop today.
You don't want to see this happen. It's the oil light on your car. Oil is the lube of life for your car's engine. At Alignment Pros and Express Lube, they pour the best oil your car deserves. Expect fast, friendly, superior service in a clean environment. They'll change your oil and perform a 21-point inspection while you enjoy the comfort of their amazing waiting room. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Welcome back. At 34 minutes after the hour, we can do one of two things at this point. We can look at this beautiful sunrise that's coming up over the Wenatchee Valley and enjoy a nice cup of coffee and an English muffin. Or we can talk to Thom Nees. We're going to talk to Thom Nees, who's the Executive Director of Serve Wenatchee Valley, making his very first appearance on this program.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
No, he's not. He's been on. How many times have you been on? A dozen or so?
I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's been something like that.
Well, you always have an open invitation.
We seem to interact pretty well together.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful to be here.
Anytime, Tom, anytime. You had a busy Saturday. Saturday, of course, was Make a Difference Day. Before we go any further, you notice that the helmets have switched. You want to explain to our viewers why you moved the Panther helmet over here in the Wildcat?
I've got sons that played with Wenatchee, and it would create a little bit of a family riff if they were watching this and they saw me on the Eastmont side of the Bridge of Sportsmanship. So thank you for acquiescing to that and keeping a little bit of peace in my home.
Yeah, well, and it should be pointed out that this is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, not just Wenatchee, and he is the Executive Director of Serve Wenatchee Valley, not just Wenatchee. I try to stress that as much as possible.
Yeah.
Take me back to Saturday. You brought some photos with you.
I did.
What are we going to look at, and tell me what we did?
So we did, we adopted the Coats for Kids program this year. Andrea Andrus had started about 7 years ago and carried it along, and they're moving out of the area and reached out to Serve Wenatchee and asked if we would be interested in hosting and facilitating that. And so we did the Coats for Kids, had some great great responses, and thank you Alpha Valley Honda for making that possible for us, and the Wenatchee World, Cherry Creek Radio, and those sponsors that came together to make that possible. We collected over 1,000 coats, about 1,050, and I say about because there's still coats coming in, and just about $3,000 that were collected that we'll use to purchase some additional coats, and all those are going to be going out to the Wenatchee and Eastmont School District schools, and those are being distributed yesterday, today, the rest of this week. And so that was one of our projects. We also had a food drive over at Grocery Outlet and collected almost a ton of
I'm no
food.
expert, but that's like 2,000 pounds
Yep.
of food, if my math teacher was correct.
Yep. And so again, a very generous community, and this is just one iteration of Make a Difference Day on Saturday. There was good going on all over our community, but for what we did, we're very grateful for the opportunity to help keep some kids warm this winter and be able to offer some food through our food banks to the families that need it.
Yeah, how's the pantry looking right now, Tom?
Pantry's looking fairly decent. We've had a couple of food drives here in the last month, and so we're going into a season where the food from our food bank is depleted fairly quickly going into this holiday season. We're also, collecting food for Baskets of Blessings, and so all of that looks pretty good. We're keeping our food stocks up for our banks to be able to offer it to families. Yeah.
Getting back to Coats for Kids real quick, so you got over 1,000 coats of all different shapes and sizes and all that stuff. You're going to sort them all, and then off they go to the school districts, right? And they hand them out?
We sort them by high school, middle school, and elementary school sizes, and then we take those, we interact with the schools and talk to them about how many they need, and then we get those coats to them. And then they distribute those to their kids that need them in the schools.
And then $3,000, and with your connections in the business community, that $3,000 is going to go a long way, isn't it?
It will.
You're not going to buy one coat that costs $3,000.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
And so
it'd be a really nice coat. But
it would indeed. We'll be able to buy some additional coats with that, and be able to distribute those through our network as well. Yeah.
You brought me some swag.
I did.
I noticed in the photos a lot of people were wearing this Hope shirt.
Yeah.
Let's see if it has my size. Extra handsome. That's my
Extra,
size.
that's the one.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Isn't that good?
Cool.
You're
I will wear this with
sporting
pride.
Hope, and we give out a Hope sticker.
Okay,
and I'm going to
thank
give you
you.
one of those too.
Thank
so
you.
You can put that like on your forehead, or yeah, that would be perfect.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I love it.
That's how we use it.
That way, see, when I get home tonight, I go, Tom gave me a sticker. Where did I put it? And I remember it's stuck to my forehead.
There it is.
It's stuck to my forehead. Well, that's a powerful word, isn't it?
It is.
It's what you do for a living.
It's what we do for a living,
Yeah.
but I think collectively it's what we do for a living, and we've got the opportunity, I think, collectively together. You see that happen on Make a Difference Day, that we have the capability in our community to define our community by hope. And that to me is a powerful statement.
When people walk into your office at 212 South Mission, just right down the street from us, right across the alleyway from us, and they have no hope, how do you convince them otherwise? I mean, a T-shirt is nice,
hope,
but it ain't going to do the job.
Hope is really an interesting thing, because I don't think people come to Serve Wenatchee to find hope. What they come for is to find help. And hope is the residual that flows out of the help that is offered. And so that's what we do. We meet them at their point of need. We navigate with them. We create, I've shared with you before this concept of social capital that so many folks are lacking. And so we come alongside of them. We connect them hand in hand. We address and we offer help. And as we do that, then hope is the residual of what is found after receiving that help.
Help and hope.
Go hand in hand.
There you go, hand in hand. Thom Nees is my guest. He's the Executive Director of Serve Wenatchee Valley. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about what's on Tom's calendar for the holiday season. He's got nothing going on. More with Thom Nees when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
What's your auto mocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
NCW Life Channel is proud to present the Spotlight on Business. We're going behind the scenes to bring you the story of local businesses throughout North Central Washington. How did they get started, and why are they so successful? We'll answer these and other questions each week with Spotlight on Business, Sundays through Fridays on the NCW Life Channel.
Thanks to the help I received at Goodwill,
I have a job. I'm working now. Thanks to Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill. Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to get you back to work. When you donate to or shop at Goodwill, you're really helping people find work.
Thank you. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
Looking at that sunrise behind Thom Nees, this ain't North Dakota, is it?
No.
Dare Dan,
Not-
by golly.
not today.
Tom's from North Dakota. But now you're here in the beautiful Wenatchee Valley, and I know you love it here, and you're here to stay.
So glad to be here.
Yeah,
Thank you for busting out the Wenatchee.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's going to mess with me all day. Appreciate that.
You got a brand new website. I'm checking it out. You got some problems with it, though. It says, right here on the homepage, 1,899 families served so far this year. That's a lot of families.
It is
That's
indeed.
a lot of families.
Yeah. And that is unique families.
Mhm.
So several of those families would have seen us more than once. We typically see somewhere between 50 and 70 families per week that will come in looking for help of some sort. And in the month of September, we were over 65. I think it was right around 68 average families per week. And so the need is huge. And so we've got these events that we do, which are awesome events. But really the heart of who Serve Wenatchee is there meeting with families every single day, to navigate and detangle the problems that they find themselves in.
How do you do the follow-ups on these things when they come in and for whatever help that they need, be it I just need a new pair of shoes, or I have an important job interview and I need to be properly groomed and presented, or whatever the case would be, diapers. How do you do the follow-up when after that you've served this family and this family has now gotten a leg up and they're moving forward with their lives? Do you do follow-ups on these things? How do you?
We do. We've got an intake process that a family will come in, and so some of the intake process is more intensive than others. So if someone is coming and looking for a bus token to be able to get them to an interview, that would be a lower bar of our responding out and follow-up. The higher bars would be someone that is coming in seeking for rent assistance or seeking for utility assistance because they're going to be evicted from their home or they're going to have the lights off. And so our response and our follow-up would be tied to the seriousness of what it is that they're coming into and facing on that particular day.
And my guess is lately the biggest problem for you is obviously been this affordable housing situation in the Wenatchee Valley. It's getting to the point where people who even have a middle class income, but they may have a middle class income, but they got 3 or 4 kids and they can't afford the apartment anymore. They can't afford rent on their house, and that's alarming. My guess is that's been the biggest focus lately over the last year and a half, 2 years with you guys?
It is for sure, and so our affordable housing is key and number one, and so a lot of the folks that we see would have perhaps a lower credit rating, or they may have an eviction on their notice, and with the current vacancy rate that we have, which is somewhere between 0.5 and 1.5%, when you've got that, to enter back into that market is very, very difficult, which is why Serve Wenatchee's stated objective is we want to keep a family in their home. That's what our focus is. We want to keep them there because we know once they're dislocated and dislodged from that living situation, it's very difficult to re-enter.
Is the answer simply building more affordable housing, or is it more to it than that?
I think there's more to it than that. I've served for the last year on the Housing Solutions group that came out of our Valley, Our Future, and we focused on middle housing, and I think that will help, because focusing on that and looking at different housing types and things to make housing available for that middle income median level is going to take the pressure off of the affordable housing, because a lot of folks will down rent or down buy simply because of availability. So that's going to help. But one of the things that I'm looking at right now is that we have as many as 350 to 400 homes in our valley that are currently unoccupied. They're not being lived in due to mortgage stress or due to dilapidated condition. And so what would it look like for Serve Wenatchee to step in and take that piece of property and acquire it, renovate it, and move a family in there and keep it as part of our continuum of care model, where we come and mentor this family in to help them be better prepared for permanent housing. And so that to me is one solution that we're looking at. You've got the home available, you've got the structure. It's a win-win because we go in and we renovate actually a neighborhood. When you go in and renovate a home that's in dilapidated condition in a neighborhood, you end up renovating and lifting up the entire neighborhood, and you're able to move a family into a house that creates stability. And the beauty is that we see is now you've got kids doing their homework around their own kitchen table. And so the residual effect of what it is that we're working on is very long-term, because you create a better environment. I believe that you're going to raise graduation rates, by getting families in a stable housing, solution for them.
And
so
these 400 houses that you speak of, Tom, they're all over the place, right? I mean, they're all over the Wenatchee, East Wenatchee area. They're not concentrated in specific neighborhoods. They're everywhere.
That's right. And that's the blessing, is you're not creating a low-income neighborhood, which is the NIMBY question, not in my backyard. We hear that a lot. What you're doing is you're going in neighborhoods all over the community, and then you're able to, the very first thing you do is you renovate that home. So the NIMBY question is off the table, because you're improving my neighborhood by doing this.
And nobody wants to, regardless of what neighborhood you live in, nobody wants to have the house that's next door to theirs vacant and dark and boarded up and falling apart. It doesn't do you any good. It doesn't do the neighborhood any good, regardless of where you live. And then, of course, it leads to other things like, crashers and vandalism and things like that. So it's it is a win-win.
I think so.
As a matter of fact.
So that's what we're working on.
But there is some other stuff. I mean, we talked about this before, where their Viewdale Drive-In is currently located. Catholic Charities is going to be building a sizable development there.
Yeah, 67 units are going to be going in there. Yep.
And that's good news. So that alleviates some of the pressure.
Yeah.
But this, I remind people of this. This isn't Seattle. This isn't San Francisco. There's no reason why people have to leave, have to move out of the Wenatchee Valley because they can't afford to live here. That to me is, I'm incredulous to think about it.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Catholic Charities place over there. This is not something that's going to be Serve Wenatchee's to own or Catholic Charities to own. We have to own this as a community, and the answers and solutions that are going to come are going to become very collaborative in nature. It has to be a collective understanding of us as a community to provide the solutions. So I think that's really important to understand.
And that's how Serve Wenatchee Valley began. It was a collaboration of a bunch of local churches who all did their own little individual things to the community to help the community out, and not just their parishioners, but the community as a whole. And they realized we can do a lot better if we just had a central conduit for all the good work that we do. And that's how Serve Wenatchee Valley came to existence to begin with.
That's exactly right. So. And I love, I'm collaborative in nature. And so that to me is the key piece of what we do.
Probably growing up in farm country had something to do with that, doesn't it?
Probably.
I think it had a lot to do with that. Let's talk about what you got going on. There's a lot on your plate as the holiday season is kind of here. With Halloween tomorrow. It's where do we even begin? You want to go chronologically?
That probably makes the most sense. To me, we're working up in a couple of weeks. We're going to have our sign-ups for the Baskets of Blessing, and it is our goal to provide 450 families with a Thanksgiving meal. And so we're doing some basket decoration leading up to that sign up, and then on the 20th, Tuesday before Thanksgiving, will be our distribution day, and 450 families will be able to receive a basket and celebrate Thanksgiving in their home. We're also working on our Glory of Christmas, which is our Christmas program, the Les Schwab Toy Drive. We are going to be a beneficiary of the Les Schwab Toy Drive again this year. And
boy, that worked out good last year. We did it for the first time last year, and when I say we, I mean, who's kidding who? Eric was kind of in charge of it, at least from our television station standpoint. Didn't really know what we were doing. First time we'd ever done it. Teamed up with Les Schwab and you guys, and it, by golly, it worked, didn't it? In a big way.
It did work, and everything you do like this, you learn something from it. And stepping into this year, we're going to take what we learned and be able to help a lot of kids in this community this year through that. So we're excited to be a participating member of that, and we anticipate helping around 70 to 75 families, representing 200 plus kids with that program. And then we've also got a fundraiser. We're going to do a Handel's Messiah sing-along. Dan Jackson.
Choral director for many, many years at Wenatchee High School.
Yep, he's going to take the production side, and we've got some elements of the Wenatchee Symphony that's going to be a part of that. We've got a brass ensemble that's going to be playing out in the lobby as people come in. It is a fundraiser. It's a free event. I need to make sure that people understand that it is going to be a free event. And the reason I say that is because we were thinking about doing ticketing, and we sort of started that direction, and now we've switched that it's going to be a free event. Fundraiser, it's on December 9th at Eastmont Baptist Church at 6:30.
That's a big church.
Yep.
Think you'll be able to fill it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be really exciting. It's a sing-along in nature, but if you came, we would probably ask you not to, and probably not give you any music, because you can come and enjoy it at the same time. However, I will say that I've only heard you sing a North Dakota song. I've never heard you sing the Hallelujah Chorus, so it may be epic.
I have a mellifluous voice. Kat can tell you that. I usually sing every morning just for the heck of it. Handel's Messiah is a major piece of work. If I remember correctly, I've heard it a number of times. A couple hours, isn't it? Something
well,
like
we're going to do do the Christmas segment, because it's broken into a couple of different segments, and it's got the Christmas portion. Actually, the Hallelujah Chorus, which you do because it's such an iconic piece of music, is not part of the Christmas. It's actually part of the Easter portion of that, but you have to do that. So we're going to do the Christmas portion. It should be about an hour and 15 minutes or so is what we're anticipating.
That's probably the best way to do it. Whose idea was this, by the way? Because whoever's idea is, kudos to them.
You know, I have to say, going back, it was a board member, J.R. Kano, who is on staff at Eastmont Baptist, and he brought the idea up a little over a year ago, and then I floated it by Dan, and all of a sudden, here we are. He's recruiting some of his singers from the past that are going to be coming and kind of being that core group that's going to help guide and keep us on pitch.
Yeah, well, he'll do a good job. If I know Dan, he'll do a really good job. Let me ask you, it's funny you brought up a board member. Thom is answerable to a board of directors who basically they're Thom's boss, so to speak. You meet with him, I suppose, once a month and give him a quick update and things like that. So talk about your board.
They're just an amazing. So because we're collaborative in nature, we've got 10 board members right now, and that represent 8 different churches in the community. And so that's really important to us. We've also got a cross section of folks that are here. We've got some volunteers that serve in our Serve Wenatchee office regularly. We've got some folks that serve in different churches in the community. We've got community leaders that are there. We've got former client that is part of our board, and that is to get a 360-degree view of what we're doing, both from the inside out and from the outside in. And so they're a great group of folks. They're just amazing. They volunteer with the programs that we're doing and are wildly supportive of the work that is going on here. They're an integral and inseparable part of that.
Let's finish up where we started. Thom Nees is the Executive Director of Serve Wenatchee Valley. How do people end up on your radar? How are people who need the services that Serve Wenatchee Valley does and does so well, how do they end up on your doorstep? How do they find out who you are?
Really 2 ways. One is word of mouth. The word of mouth that goes out is one of the predominant ways. Someone that has received help then will pass it along. But we're also a partner in the community with other nonprofit organizations, with Catholic Charities, with Community Action Council, with Salvation Army. And so different organizations will make referrals. So we're working hard to understand what other nonprofits do, and we make referrals that way, and the referrals also, when they understand what we do, will come back that way too.
And of course, like most 501(c)(3)s, a little money didn't hurt anywhere. In fact, I'm on your website right now, which is, by the way, a new website. I like this. Yeah. Talk about $25 a month. It's nothing for some. $25 a month. I spend that on frivolous things every month.
Yeah,
what does $25 a month from me get you guys?
What it does is it helps support one family for 1 month. And so we take a look at the vast number of families that we serve, and what we think is I would rather have 1,000 people supporting Serve Wenatchee at $25 than one person giving $25,000. And again, if you've got $25,000 and you want to support this work, please don't hesitate to reach out, because we're doing that great work. But the picture is, because we're collaborative in nature, when each of us do a little, we can accomplish a lot. And so what we're simply asking is that recurring, then what that gives us the capacity to do is operate and be able to offer the help that we need to be able to give to families, so that hope becomes contagious.
Baskets, we got about a minute left. Baskets of Blessings is the next big thing. People say, I'm going to go out and do my grocery shopping the weekend before Thanksgiving. I'll buy an extra thing of stuffing or green beans or whatever. Or guys what are they doing?
Actually, what we do is we target buy for these things.
Okay.
So we have target bought, and because we can do it very efficiently. So for only $35 a basket, we can provide a turkey and a full meal. So we do it because we buy in bulk more efficiently. So we actually ask for $35 as opposed to a donation of food.
And that's great, because then you can do all the shopping.
We do all the shopping.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been to Safeway and Albertsons on a couple of days before Thanksgiving, and you can't even get a cart up and down the aisle.
Yeah.
So smart move there. And kudos to all the grocery stores, like Grocery Outlet, for ones that you mentioned, that help them out. But give you really good deals on important things. So,
Yeah, it really is important.
yeah, so, Thom Nees is the Executive Director of Serve Wenatchee Valley. Here we go. Hope, baby, hope. That's what you got to have, right?
That's it.
Yes, you got to have it. Everybody have yourself a great Tuesday. My guest tomorrow will be the administrator of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. Darcy Christopherson makes her, I don't know, about once every other month she comes by and pays me a visit. She'll be on tomorrow. Until then, everybody have a great Tuesday. Stay dry tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.